Hello, everyone, and welcome to my G1 Climax US special in the Cow Palace in San Francisco here on the channel. And, without further ado, let's get on with the card. We got the opening match here. We have Chaos vs. Bullet Club 5v5 match as Roppongi 3K, Rocky Romero, Gedo, and Yoshihashi take on Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tongaloa, Haku, Yujiro Takahashi, and Chase Owens. Haku starting off against Yoshihashi, whose words I never thought I'd say here on the channel, but here we are. Glad the crowd was behind Haku this whole match. I was hoping it would happen, because I know I was going to be. Haku, man, goddamn man. As Haku kills Rocky Romero with a perfect pile driver. He fucking killed him. God bless him. As you know, we'll talk about more Haku later on, as Rocky was killing it in this match. Glad to see he got just a shine well for him on the show. Just being a SoCal guy, it's always nice to see those guys do well. And it's, in their home little region. Haku breaks up a pin from Gedo with a Tongan death grip, who then throws him into Tama Tonga's gun stun for the win. That was actually a sweet finish to a decent little opener. Nothing crazy happened, but it was cool to see a Tongan death grip, so I can't complain there. Tag team match. Afterwards, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. taking on Tomohiro Ishii and Yano. Suzuki got vs. Chaos. Little tag match. Starting off with Ishii and Suzuki. Fucking right after the bell rings, Suzuki kicks Ishii right in the face. So, such a great opening spot there. Yano offers a handshake to Zack Sabre Jr. later on in the match. Zack turns into a wrist lock. Yano offers it again. This time, Yano rakes the eyes before Zack can turn it into a wrist lock. Suzuki just murdering Ishii with these forearm strikes. And, those two were just all over each other. Either it was in the ring, out of the ring, they were just killing each other. And, of course, anytime the strike exchanges are happening between anybody from, Ishii, Suzuki, Shibata back in the day, Hanma, fucking Togi Makabe, you got guys of those never open weight division guys. It's always awesome. And Zack counters Yano's low blow again by trapping his arm. And but this time, though, Ishii lariats Zack, who breaks free Yano's hand and gets a roll-up win for the team of Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano. Another great finish. I mean, that's these undercard matches, back-to-back, great finishes. Really enjoyed that finish as well. As post-match, Suzuki grabs a chair that looks older than him, and the young boys restrain him. Luckily, no young boys were attacked on this show from Minoru Suzuki. Nobody died from that man. As next match, another tag match, Marty Scurll and Hangman Page taking on Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kushida. Kushida and Scurll started off. Some very good stuff from both those guys early on. Always thought those guys should have had a big-time match. Because they never really had, they've never had a big, one of the big shows matches before, as away from each other for the most part. Hangman's running shooting star press off the apron will never not be impressive, because he's not a small guy. He's a pretty big dude, and he's doing that. Anytime anybody just does a shooting star press is impressive, but a guy of that size doing it off the apron to a standing person, that's a lot of chances to fuck up there, and he does it well every time. Funny spot with Taguchi. He comes in and he tries to, get some offense, and he eats shit on a flying hip attack. God bless Taguchi, man. He's the goddamn man. Hangman does a sweet reversal on Kushida into the rite of passage, picking up the win. Again, for all the undercard matches, they all had great finishes. That's, a thing, listen, if you're going to have an undercard full of tag matches, that's the New Japan way. That's alright. No complaints from me, but if you're going to have just great finishes, that's a great way to help improve an undercard, or at least give some limelight onto an undercard to have a great finish. So that's some good stuff. Their first title match of the night coming up, never openweight title match, Jeff Cobb versus Roki Goto. It took about 2 minutes for Jeff Cobb to do something awesome here. He's just so goddamn good. Pretty much most of this match was Jeff Cobb on offense, and which was great for the crowd, because the crowd was very much pro Jeff Cobb, and Cobb kills Goto with a lariat and hits him with a moonsault afterwards. Goes for the pin. Goto kicks out at 2. GTR by Goto as he gets the win, retaining his never openweight title. I had a feeling it would be a pro Jeff Cobb crowd, and when Goto would hit his finish, I had a feeling it would fall flat, and it did. But that's nothing really. It was a long show. The crowd was kind of eh. Could have been better, but it could have been worse. Thing also. Hopefully they get a rematch or something down the line in Japan, because I think the Japanese crowd would have ate that shit up, especially Jeff Cobb. They feel like, and Goto too, especially Goto. They you know, when it's a GTR and then when it's done right, the crowd's at a fever pitch. It can really come across well. And Jeff Cobb's just, you know, the man. So it's always nice to see Jeff Cobb more in Japan. IWGP Tag Team title matchup, Young Bucks taking on Evil and Sonata, the rematch from Dominion. Sonata locks in locks Matt Jackson into a Paradise Lock pretty early on in the match. Nick goes for his combo of the facebuster and the moonsault to the floor. Sonata, though, counters a moonsault into a moonsault of his own off the apron and into the Skull's End. Matt saves his brother, skins the cat back into the ring. Evil lariats Matt to the outside. Evil sets up for a tope, and we're like, holy shit, is the big man gonna do it? But now the Young Bucks get back in the ring, super kick him. But then Sonata jumps back into the ring, hits a springboard drop kick to both men, leaving all four men down. Great sequence there. The crowd ate it up. Good stuff there. Matt and Sonata counter each other into Dragon Sleepers. Sonata misses that moonsault. Matt chases him to the outside into the DDT on the apron. Then Nick goes for a 450 splash. He hits it. Sonata kicks out of two, though. While Matt has the sharpshooter on Sonata, Nick does his run-up tope on Evil, which, you know, does into the corkscrew press. And Sonata just gets to the ropes before tapping out. Nick and Matt go for more bang for your buck, but Sonata reverses it for Sonata to get the hot tag to Evil. Evil just comes in with House of Fire, suplexing both men. Hits Nick with the Darkness Falls. Nick kicks out 2. Magic Killer from Evil and Sonata gets the 2 count. The Bucks get back to their feet. Looking for a super kick. Get the referee instead. Now we got a weapon involved. We got Nick and Evil having a funny little chair throwing spot. They throw it back to each other 2 or 3 times until the Bucks hit Evil with a super kick right into the chair. Bucks go for a Meltzer driver onto the chair. Gets counted by Evil and Sonata. They do it from the turnbuckle instead. Nick breaks it up before 3 count. Magic Killer this down to Matt Jackson, who kicks out on his own. This is awesome chance for the crowd. They really ramp it up from this. Obviously, from pretty much this match on, is just nothing but solid matches, and the crowd was really into them for the most part. And we get a Meltzer driver onto Evil, and the Young Bucks retain. Hell of a match. In my opinion, this was better than the Dominion match. That was a very good match, and even that Dominion match was very good. But that was, the crowd was into it. A lot of cool spots. Yeah, just thought it was a better version of the Dominion match. So there is that. The New Japan announced a couple of new shows coming to the United States. Fighting Spirit Unleashed, which are going back to the Pyramid in Long Beach. That's going to be in September. They also are going to do a Lions Break project for November 10th, 11th. I'm assuming that's going to be for the guys who are like on excursion. Instead of like sending them out to a promotion or something, they'll have them be on those types of shows. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it's just Lionsgate guys, and they're just going to call it Lions Break Project when they're just elsewhere. Who knows? And we're talking about, you know, this card. They were wanting 10,000 in the Cow Palace, and they got about 6,600 plus people there. They went. It wasn't terrible. It wasn't something that you can like be like they got like 3,000 people or some shit. Then like be like, yeah, they'll never do that again. But they didn't get their goal, so it's kind of like they're in the middle here. Plus, this is going to be their third, really, the Lions Break Project, too, when that goes around, that'll be their 5th time they'll have a U.S. show in just the year 2018, so that's going to be interesting to see how that Lions Break Project goes as far as crowd goes, because I don't think, it's going to be in Anaheim, I forget where the venue is, but if they get any more than 1,000 people for a Lions Break Project show, depending on who's on the card, of course, I'd be surprised. I don't think there's going to be enough diehard Japan fans who would want to see the Young Lions, matches and promotion. But who knows? Maybe there is. And that's also a thing too. Like back when New Japan did the Invasion Tag Tour in 2011 for the Intercontinental title with Jersey All Pro, they were getting 700 people in a gym for every tour show, and that had guys, that had the main guys, that had Tanahashi, that had Shinsuke Nakamura, that had the top guys in New Japan on those shows, and they were only drawing 700 people. and in the gymnasium. So it's, yeah, Rome was built a day. I think one day they'll get to 10,000. A lot of it could have been also the All In show was happening in the same kind of time frame. So maybe a lot of people decide to go to that show instead of this show. But it's, they'll one day get it. It might not be now. It might be next year. It might even be 2 years from now. But they'll get 10,000 people. I'm pretty sure, at least. If they have to do Okada like Omega, they'll get 10,000. I would assume. The next match, though, we got Tetsuya Naito and Bushi taking on Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay. A bit of a cool-down match. I know it's kind of hard to say that with Tetsuya Naito and Kazuchika Okada and Will Ospreay and Bushi in it, but it is what it is. Red Pants Okada making his debut on the channel. I think he debuted these at Strong Style Evolved UK, but I could be wrong with that. Either way, since he debuted them and I saw him, I've been a fan of the Red Pants. I'm on Team Red Pants. That's for sure. At least the trunks were better. They're still way better, the trunks were. But, you know, as far as pants go, Red Pants over the golden pants. That's for sure. Naito and Okada starting things off. That's pretty fucking cool. Two top guys there. Nothing really too crazy, you know, of course, going on in this match, which is supposed to happen, you know, really. It did exactly what it's supposed to, considering what's going on the previous match and what's going on in the next match. You know, really the biggest crazy spot was Okada countering a Destino, looking for a tombstone. Naito counters that, going for a tornado DDT, using the ropes, in which Okada counters into a deep in debt. That was a cool spot. Ospreay hits Bushi with a Stormbreaker for the win. No complaints, though. You know, it did what it was. It did what the match was supposed to do. It did its role. So that's nothing you can talk about there. As next match, IWGP Junior Heavyweight title matchup. The match of the night as well. This is fucking incredible. Dragon Lee versus Hiromu Takahashi. We kick off the match with Dragon Lee's Hurricanrana from the inside to the floor, followed by the Tope Gangiro. That's a good way to start off a fucking Junior Heavyweight title matchup. Jesus Christ. Dragon Lee counters a Hurricanrana into the cartwheel. I love that reversal anytime somebody does that. That was a Virtual Pro Wrestling 2 gimmick back in the day whenever you play as Liger, you just counter into a cartwheel. And now basically everybody does that in a spot, but that's neither here nor there. Hiromu hits a vicious John Woo dropkick from the apron. Absolutely destroys Dragon Lee. Hiromu hits the standing senton bomb from the top rope to the floor. That spot, you know, it's a cool spot when you're 25, but when you're about 40, you know, when you're Tanahashi's age, you're gonna be like, maybe I should have came up with that spot. Just knowing Hiromu Takahashi probably still be doing it. Like, Tanahashi does a high fly flow to the floor every now and again. Holy fuck, though. Dragon Lee hits a double foot stomp from Hiromu, who's hanging off from the turnbuckle near the apron side. What a fucking spot. That's something where you just kind of imagine, be like, yeah, someone could probably do that, but be dumb, you know. You're gonna eat shit more than the guy you're hitting the move on. That's a hell of a drop. And he just murdered him. Both guys get, you know, holy shit chance. Then both men get back into the ring. They trade German suplex spots forever. Just, god damn, this was so awesome. After they kill each other, before they get back to their feet, they're trading chops. Chopping the shit out of each other. Standing Spanish Fly from Dragon Lee. Hiromu kicks out at 2. Dragon Lee counters with a triangle choke. With a fucking Steamalizer. Dumps Hiromu Takahashi right on his head. He then follows up with the Orange Crush Bomb. Hiromu kicks out at 2. Dragon Lee again going for that Steamalizer, but this time Hiromu counters it into a Canadian Destroyer. Dragon Lee kicks out at 2. Hiromu just picks him right back up, hits the time bomb, and gets the win, retaining the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title. Holy fuck, what a match. What a match. No surprise there. These guys fucking kill it every time they get in the ring against each other. So proud of them every time they go out there and they kill it. They are definitely one of the top rivalries in the world. They prove it every time they go against each other one-on-one, or even in the multi-man matches, those two, whenever they get a hold of each other. It is fucking magic. I wish they could main event a Tokyo Dome. Yeah, you know, they fucking deserve it. They are so awesome together. And it's never gonna happen, you know, but, or at least not even a Tokyo Dome, just a big-time show. Just let them close the show. You know, Mexico do it. CMLL's done it before. You know, the Masters of Match, and a couple of those CMLL lightweight matches, stuff like that. They've been main events on shows, but nothing like to the standard they should of like an all-time event. Like that could be main evented by those two, as proving that they are with this match a great rivalry, and also two of the best junior heavyweights in the world. Great title match too. Another junior heavyweight title match that's a banger. This whole year has been filled with great junior heavyweight title matchups. That's the fan of the juniors. So proud of them. Next match, IWGP US title matchup, the co-main event, Juice Robinson versus Jay White. Solid gear choices from both these guys. Juice's fits more of the flamboyant character that he is than Jay White's gear. Just looks pretty awesome. I like the red tights. Looks pretty awesome. Juice with a double leg takedown right off the rip to start this off. Early in the match, it goes to the outside, both men throwing each other against the guardrails, and nicely done Muda lock by Jay White. Always nice to see a good well done Muda lock. Jay White was a fucking heat magnet this match, doing any little things, playing into the crowd, doing Juice's punch combinations. Jay White counters a lariat into a flatliner and a deadlift German suplex. Juice kicks out. Back to the outside they go. Jay White does a suplex into the guardrail, which knocks over Jim Ross. Josh Barnett gets up and tries to kill Jay White. I'll say this, Jay White does not want that smoke. Josh Barnett, youngest UFC heavyweight champion, he'd probably kill him. He'd probably kill him. Juice hits a spinebuster on the apron and just murders Jay White for him, as Juice stops from getting a German suplex to the floor by Jay White, reverses it into a Russian leg sweep of his own and onto the floor. Cool little spot there, deadly little spot. Cannonball from Juice into a superplex from the top rope. Jay White kicks out. Great counter from Jay White, countering Pulp Fiction into a crucifix, really like that, and then into the elbows to the side of the forehead. That's a cool little transition that you see. More of a MMA variety than more of a wrestling match, but it's cool to see that, unless it's like a Matt Riddle match or something. He'll do it from time to time, but Jay White goes for the Blade Runner. Juice avoids it. Juice tries to hit him with the cast, which the rule for the match was, Juice couldn't hit him with the cast, so he'd be disqualified. So Red Juice stops him, so he doesn't get disqualified. Jay White goes for Blade Runner again. This time, Juice counters it into a Pulp Fiction, but again, Jay White breaks it off, shoving him into Red Shoes, knocking him down. Low blows Juice, which then Juice gets back to his feet, hits him with the cast. Juice hits Pulp Fiction. Takes a bit of time to cover him as Jay White kicks out too. Great little sequence there, way to protect not only Jay White and the Bill suspense with the kick out, but all the using Red Shoes and getting involved in all that type of thing. Jay White blocks Pulp Fiction into two sleeper suplexes. This time he's picks him back up, looking for the Blade Runner, because he finally hit it, but nope. Juice gets a schoolboy roll-up for the win, and what a great match that was for both those guys. They did a great job in their roles. This was Jay White's best match for New Japan. He was a fucking heat magnet the whole time. He was that's exactly what you want to see. That's exactly what I want to see from someone who's going to face Juice and you're going to be the heel. Just be that heel. Let Juice be the babyface, and it's going to come over well. And I think the crowd loved it. It was a big-time moment. The big win for Juice. He definitely deserved it. And now there's no champions in the A block for the G1, so that's going to be a interesting thing to see how that plays out. But Jay White, I'll say he just had his best New Japan match here at Juice, but 2 short weeks. He's going to have some big-time matches against guys like Tanahashi, Okada, Suzuki, so we'll see how long that stands. Here's the main event. IWGP title match, Cody taking on Kenny Omega. It shouldn't feel like a IWGP title match, but Cody Rhodes, back to the black hair. He brought it back, and he's brought to the ring on a little throne with Brandy and Bernard the Bear by his side, and getting brought to the ring by a couple of lackeys. As Omega goes for his tope, but Cody puts Brandy in front of him, which Omega stops. Cody does his run-up tope onto Omega later on in the match. Omega throws Cody onto a table. Omega jumps onto a guardrail for a double foot stomp, breaking the table. That'll be the only time a table gets broken in this match. Kenny Omega then grabs another table from under the ring, sets it up, and with Kenny, he goes for his springboard moonsault, but Cody just gets up, and luckily, Kenny Omega didn't eat shit trying to stopping him from doing the springboard moonsault. As now, then we see some ladders involved. We see some tables getting involved. Cody does a front suplex on Kenny Omega onto a ladder. Cody then sets up a table on the outside. He brings the ladder inside. He sets it up near the table. Cody looking for a dive maybe, but Omega gets up from the table and he goes after Cody onto the ladder. Both men fighting for position. The Young Bucks get involved trying to stop him. And Omega looks for the superplex from the top through the table to the outside, but Cody gets the better of it and suplexes him off the ladder into the ring. Cody then grabs the IWGP title, looks to hit Omega with the belt, but he hesitates, decides to drop it, and instead goes for the crossroads, hits it on him, and Omega kicks out at 2. Both men start countering one-wing angels and vertebreakers. Omega hits a couple of V-triggers. Cody kicks out. Omega does a running powerbomb, throwing him into the table, and it doesn't break. Japanese table even made it to America. I'll be a son of a bitch. As Omega then signals for a V-trigger back into the ring. Brandon gets in the ring in front of Cody, giving him enough time to get back to his feet and hit Omega with a lariat. Double underhook pile driver from Omega gets a 2 count. One wing angel from Kenny Omega onto Cody, and he gets the win for Kenny Omega, successfully defending his IWGP title for the first time. As, I said in the beginning that it didn't feel like an IWGP title match. I'll explain a little bit more in depth here. It was, honestly, it had that, U.S. indie style to it. There was a lot of pomp and circumstances, a lot of gimmicks. Just, you had tables, you had ladders, you had the Bucks, you had Brandy. It just, all this bullshit, and I expected it. I still was just kind of like, eh. But I'll say this, it felt more like a Ring of Honor title match more than an IWGP title match. But I'll say this, it was better than the Cody Omega from the Supercard of Honor show, and it was also better than Cody from last year's G1 special in the US. So, I mean, sure, it wasn't to the style I wish it was for the IWGP title. If it was just not for the belt, there would have been no complaints at all. I'd been like, yeah, this was fucking... It was good. It was great. And it still was a good match, but it just... Me personally nitpicking, it just wasn't that style that I wish the IWGP title was. It was felt more like an American-style match than more of a Japanese pro wrestling match. That's just kind of nitpick thing. Kind of the old guard. Kind of be like, don't change it, goddammit. It was fine the way it was. The Okadas, the Shinsuke Nakamura's, the Hiroshi Tanahashi's, the Yuji Nagata's, the fucking guys of old, and the Kajimuto's, Masaya Chono's, and there's very rarely something crazy like this happening for title matches. It just didn't feel like that. Kind of more of the left side, just the two best in the world going at it. No fucking bullshit type of thing. But post-match promo from Kenny goes over well. Decent little babyface promo. As he meets G.O.D. and Haku at the entrance stage. And he, does the little goodbye, goodnight gimmick. But Tama Tonga Low and Haku attack Kenny Omega and the Bucks from behind. And they reveal a Firing Squad Bullet Club t-shirt. Hangman Page, Marty Scurll trying to make the save. They get stopped. Yujiro Takahashi and Chase Owens also trying to make the save. They get stopped. As, Tama Tonga then calls for Cody to come back to the ring. He gives him a chair. And it looks like Cody's going to attack Kenny Omega. They're going to side with Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa and Haku. But no! He changes his mind. He swerves him. And he attacks Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. But they beat him down instead. They get the better of him. Just a numbers game at that point. Then Haku spikes the IWGP Heavyweight Champion Kenny Omega with a pile driver onto a chair. As, this just took too long for me to care about the angle. This should have happened months ago, either before the Civil War, or literally right after it happened instead of embracing. It just, not a fan of the way, how this was done, how long it took for them to turn on them after they were just, everyone's like, BC is fun, all that whole shit, just, all the fucking, is it not type of thing, just dumb. Just leave that for fucking, the US companies, leave that horse shit out of Japan. But I'm sure Fale and Bone Soldier are going to be in it too, so it's not just going to be G.O.D. as this firing squad. Sure, there's going to be those guys. And since they weren't in this segment, I would assume that's how it's going to go. I'm sure there'll be even another guy or two that's going to join them. This does add more towards the Kenny Omega Tama Tonga match for the G1. I still don't think Tama Tonga's going to beat him, but if he does beat him, that's going to be something. That would be definitely a thing I would not see coming. I'll say that. I do hope it goes well, though. As guys, Tama Tonga and Fale, you know, they were part of it. Part of the original four, you know, with Devitt and Carl. And Tama Tonga, I always said he was one of the most underrated guys in the world back when that was the first started around, 2013, 2014. It was like, he had a sweet-ass corner splash. It was very different. Moved in the ring differently. So I was like, oh, he could do something cool. Maybe have an Intercontinental title run or something like that. And now with all these other belts, even a never Openweight title match, they just never really got that. In Fale, he's booked well. He's the monster that's protected so well, but other than that, I think his better years are behind him. But who knows? He's from what I've seen, he's dropped a bit of weight. I think he's dropped about 20, 30 pounds. He's looking in great shape. This might be something to help elevate him. But, it's going to be impossible to get back to that level of the Bullet Club. And plus, also, now you got... Where do the guys who just saved Kenny, the Ujiros, the Chase Owens, the Hangman Pages, the fucking... Obviously, Hangman and Marty Scurll, they're part of, the Elite, because it's, being the Elite, and they're part of the show. But now you got Chase Owens and Yujiro, who just now saved Kenny Omega. So, are they now part of the Elite? Or are they just fuck it, we don't know, there's still going to be a Bullet Club. There's going to be just two different ones. It's going to be Bullet Club and then Bullet Club Firing Squad, like it's fucking NWO and NWO Wolfpack, which that's definitely what we don't want to see. That's just bad and dumb. Don't do that. But, because you already have already too many stables, and now you're going to have two sub-stables? That's just going to be dumb. Because then even then, let's say you have a Bullet Club Firing Squad, and then fucking the Golden Elite. Then you got another one. It's just gonna be a little bit confusing for the newer fans who are gonna be into it. Maybe in 2019 or 2020 we'll get into the product. They'll be like, what the fuck is this? And we're just gonna be like, we don't know. We don't know what's dumb. Just don't worry about it, type of thing. But that'll do it for the show. Ran long enough, I think. It was, for what it was, I was excited to see the IWGP Junior title match, the tag match, and the U.S. title match. And those were great matches, so cannot complain at all. I'll give it a thumbs up. It could have been better, but it could have been worse, type of thing. Excited to see how the G1 plays out, and that's going to be a big-ass preview. If you thought these videos were long, going 20, 30 minutes, that video is going to go an hour, probably. Maybe even longer. So just strap in for that one. Bring a lunch. Call a friend. That's going to be a long one. Take care.